Hello, YouTube. How y'all doing today on this great Wednesday, hump day? We will be covering Donald Trump. This is Life Under Trump 117. We got a lot to cover because he keeps going back and forth with China on the tariffs. Now it's at 104% tariff. So I guess his ball caps, Make America Great, will not be getting ordered as well because they come from China and they just put designed in America, in the USA. But they are made in China. Make America Great ball caps are made in China. A lot of Donald Trump's merchandise is made in China. It's quite strange. He wants to bumble with the bee, huh? With China. Very strange. Hello, King Alan. How you doing? He's pausing the tariffs on other countries right now. I guess the penguins don't have to worry about paying tariffs now. This administration is the sickest administration I have seen. It's not making any sense what's going on. Hey, King LaSwan. Hey, Queen Victoria's one. Hey, what's up? What's good? The real Maloto. What's up, King? It is crazy. 104% tariff on China. What is this administration thinking? We just had an FBI agent to quit because he doesn't agree with Patel, whatever his name is. He doesn't agree with how Donald Trump is covering things, like with Signalgate. Nobody's being reprimanded for what they have done with Signalgate. But I guarantee you, if it was President Joe Biden doing what Donald Trump is doing, not doing anything about Signalgate, they would have a lot to say, because the Republicans love to run their mouth a lot on President Joe Biden, when Donald Trump is the worst president of the world. The worst. No other president has 34 felonies. And because a MAGA keep coming at me in my chat about felonies, I'm going to read them off what felonies is in a little bit. Because that guy has 34 felonies. And his felonies are state felonies, charges. They cannot go away, can't be pardoned because it's state. State felonies cannot be pardoned. And I love that for him because he got to wear it across his forehead. Felon. Anyway, this administration is the worst administration ever. He only plays people that have more money than us, billionaires and big millionaires, over $500 million people in his administration, and they know nothing about us, the regular American people. They're not there to benefit us. They're not there to benefit us. Hit that like button as you all are coming in. If you like to support my channel, you can send me super chats, super stickers if you like. Also, my Venmo is in the description, so if you want to send me something through Venmo, it is in my description. You can send me something through Venmo as well. Also, my PayPal link is in my description. So if you want to bless me today, you can bless me that way. We're going to go ahead and get this party started. Oh my God. Alan said the tariffs have risen to 125% on China. He never going to get any more Make America Great ball caps because they don't make them here. They make them in China and it's so much cheaper. And if you get them made here in America, it's going to cost you a lot. That's why we don't normally get things made here, because it's so expensive. I know. I had a boutique. Trust me, I know. One moment. Just a moment, everybody. Thank you for coming to my live. Hit that like button as you have come in. Hit the like button and show me that you appreciate me, because I appreciate you. I'm going to show you this. And just watch and get what she's saying.
Ready to be able to afford things again? Living under Biden's shit economy of inflation this past 4 years?
She's being sarcastic.
What did they expect? Overnight prices would go down? And the tariffs, I mean, we need them. They've been screwing us over for a long time. I might lose my small business and I might have to file for bankruptcy, but he did it like 6 times. Look at him. We're going to be fine. I'm willing to take the pain to help save this country because I'm a patriot. And that man right there, he lives and dies by the Constitution. Like I live and die by the Constitution. We have nothing if we don't have that. I think he was joking about the 3rd term, but I mean, even if he's not, we need him. I know if he thinks that he needs to be there for a 3rd term, it's because we need him. And we can change the Constitution and due process. I think that he should have all the power. It's fine. I can't wait to watch him hold all those crazy libs accountable for what they did to him. Shit, take it all the way back to Hillary. Her emails. She needs to be held accountable. Lock her up. I mean, who hasn't added the wrong person to a group text? I mean, I've done it. My grandma does it all the time. Okay, he was using his Gmail, and he's our national security advisor. Lock her up. He's gonna end those wars. And no new wars. Peace is complicated. It's very complicated. And Greenland, however, we should take Greenland. And if that means that he thinks we need to go in by force, then I am good with that. Yep.
That's how MAGA acts. She's reenacting the MAGA people. Anything that's wrong, they got something to come back with for Donald Trump. As if he's some Jesus Christ and he's nowhere like Jesus Christ. It truly baffles me, but it doesn't surprise me.
I don't know what it's going to take for the American people, for 78 million Americans, to deal with what motivated them to make the choice to elect this man again, to make the choice that will allow these people to undermine every fundamental assumption we have, that you can just be disappeared, and then they can argue that, a court is getting in the way of their ability to exercise, foreign policy in some ways, right? I don't know what it's going to take for 78 million Americans to deal with what motivated them to make this choice. And the choice that they've made, we have to just be honest, is to literally throw the Republic into the trash bin. And this is just one example. The tariffs is another, right? They made the choice. Now, what was behind it? We have to grapple with it, because it's the snake, it's the beast coiled up in the heart, the bosom of the country, as Frederick Douglass said. And the fact that they are doubling down on this shows you what kind of human beings they actually are.
Say more.
We chose a felon who is more interested in loyalty, who's more interested in retribution, who's more interested in grift than in democracy. And we chose a felon because we didn't want to elect a black woman. So to read that, to actually explicate that, is to say we would rather destroy the Republic than for that to have happened. And until we grapple with it, there's no amount of protesting I could do. There's no amount of resistance that could come into play to actually force 78 million people to grapple with what motivated them to put themselves in this position.
Like he said, they didn't want a black woman in there. Their skin always motivates them to make their decisions. And because they made that decision at the voter booth, we are in this situation today. They can never blame black and brown people. You're the reason. One moment, please.
Morning encouraged his followers to buy stock, writing just hours before he made the announcement, quote, "This is a great time to buy DJT." Naturally, once Trump made the announcement, the markets had a massive jump. Market manipulation, anyone? The Trump propagandists kicked right into gear, calling this panicked reversal the art of the deal and pretending that Trump was not reacting to crashing the global economy and U.S. bond markets. Trump's chief propagandist, Caroline Leavitt, was one of those people calling this the art of the deal.
Many of you in the media clearly missed the art of the deal. You clearly failed to see what President Trump is doing here.
It's so embarrassing. She literally did this meme. Trump goes, "I'm adding the tariffs." His followers go, "This will create jobs." Trump says he's removing tariffs. His followers go, "This is the art of the deal." And the cycle repeats. It should be noted that Trump this
Fair
morning
use,
encourages-
educational purpose. Everything that I show you is fair use, educational purpose, and great for research and commentary. This is outrageous. He plays with the American people dollars to benefit the wealthy. So he's now told his wealthy billionaire friends to buy up stock because it's cheaper now because it crashed. He's still doing business deals when he's supposed to be in there being the American president. Other presidents had to give up their stuff, like Jimmy Carter had to give up his peanut farm and all of that to be president. Donald Trump is the biggest con artist. We have a 34-count felon in the White House that is smooching and grifting off the American people tax dollars money. Are you grateful yet, MAGA? One moment.
Own word from an old post in which he said any president who oversees a stock market crash in which the Dow drops by more than 1,000 points should be impeached and removed from the presidency. Here is his tweet from 2012. Let's give it a read. Quote, "If the Dow drops 1,000 points in 2 days, the president should be impeached immediately." Yet that is exactly what has happened under Donald Trump's second term. This week, on Monday, the Dow dropped by 650 points. And today, it is dropped by more than 515 points. So that is a drop of over 1,100 points in 2 days. So according to Donald Trump's 2012 logic, he should be impeached and removed from the presidency. And for once in my life, I agree with Donald Trump. It's time to impeach him. So Donald Trump's own words are now being used against him from an old post in which he said any president who
That's a good reason to impeach him, but he's done more than just that to be impeached. He needs to be impeached immediately. He's done more than just that.
Trump is now playing with people's lives. He is threatening to put tariffs on pharmaceuticals. This will affect everything from over-the-counter medications to prescription drugs that people need to live. This is not a TV or cheap clothing or flip-flops. These are prescriptions that without, people will lose their lives. He is a narcissistic lunatic. He's talking about how people are calling him up and kissing his butt. He can't wait to negotiate all these deals. This is no art of the deal. He's like a bull in a china shop, and he doesn't care about people because the price of everything is going to go up. And now people will literally have to choose between eating and getting their prescriptions. And for some people, they're going to lose their lives over this, and he doesn't care. You don't threaten and put huge tariffs on items that people need to survive, that people's children need to survive. You want to negotiate that? Go have a meeting. Go negotiate it. But you don't put tariffs on things like pharmaceuticals that people will lose their lives without. He is a lunatic, and he's driving this country into the ground. And now people will lose their lives because of it. Trump is now playing.
Subscribe to Pull Up Pasta Politics. Go to Instagram and follow her as well. I've been said this man is a lunatic. He needs to be in a nut house. And the older he gets, it gets worse, y'all. It's not getting better. He should not be in the Oval Office with all the things he's doing. He doesn't deserve to be in there. He's a lunatic. As this young lady stated, he is a lunatic. And Jasmine Crockett has more to say. Yes, she does. She speaks the truth on Donald Trump and how favoritism has been shown to him when he is the biggest criminal ever.
You know, it's interesting because we got all these theories. I don't know why we put up with getting data and facts if we just gonna sit here and talk about how we feel. So, you know, maybe we can inject some facts into these feelings. I'm not really sure. But as somebody who has actually practiced criminal defense, I don't know if there's anybody else in here who has. I can tell you that I have handled thousands of cases, not hundreds of cases, thousands on the state level in Texas, Arkansas, and the federal level. And I can tell you,
hit the like button, please. Thank you.
If I had to look at the vast majority of the cases that I was representing criminal defendants on, the vast majority of them just didn't happen to be immigrants. These are just the facts of my experience, and maybe the immigrants went to somebody else. I don't know, but I can tell you in my actual experience in real life, in reality, and not in this fallacy world that y'all are making up where you hate on everybody. So my Republican colleagues are here using today to continue pushing this false narrative of sanctuary cities harboring criminals. Yet right here in DC, we have a 34-count felon being harbored in the White House. The hypocrisy coming from your side of the aisle over concerns regarding lawlessness is outrageous.
Yeah, the Republican Party love to call everybody criminals when they got a person in the Oval Office sitting behind a resident desk that is the biggest criminal ever. So they should never run their mouth about who's a criminal because Donald Trump has 34 felonies. Does that not say he's a criminal, MAGA nuts? Donald Trump has 34 felonies. Do I need to tell you what a felony is? Because I think I need to. Hold up. Wait a minute. Just a moment. We're going to take them to school for a moment. A felon is a person who has been convicted or a felony. Cruel, wicked. And they give you an example. The felon, undetermined hand of dark corruption. Donald Trump is a corrupted president. He is a corrupted president. What is a felon? One who's committed felony, of villing, a painful abscess of deep tissues. That's Donald Trump. He's like a virus. So, okay, we're going to skip that part. A felony is traditionally considered a crime of high seriousness, whereas misdemeanor is regarded as less serious. A felon is anyone who's been convicted of serious crimes. That is Donald Trump. That's who he is, MAGA. Get it in your head. He has done more than anybody in that whole cabinet, even in the Democrats. Nobody has the crimes that Donald Trump has. He's the worst of the worst. Like I told you, he's the bottom of the trash can, that under the trash can, that gum that has turned black instead of pink. That is Donald Trump.
Some major breaking news right now. China is escalating this trade war. It has announced just minutes ago 84% tariffs on all American goods. They will take effect tomorrow, April 10th. This comes after Donald Trump imposed 104% tariffs, an extra 50% tariff that went into effect at midnight, just about 9 hours ago. This 84% tariff will decimate small businesses here in the United States that
and I'm one of them.
Exporting to China. Especially
I have a small
farmers in the
business
Midwest who export a large amount of soybean products.
I
And
get
other
my products
produce
from China.
To China. 84% is a massive tariff and a massive escalation. Right now, the United States has 104% on Chinese goods. China has 84% on American goods. Both are likely to continue to go up as this trade war has really turned into a back and forth match between Donald Trump and Xi Jinping. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack shortly, so be sure to subscribe for free at the link in my bio and follow along for all the news you need to know about. We have some major breaking news right now. China is escalating this trade war. It has announced just
Donald Trump
ago,
expects others to be afraid of him. No other country is afraid of a reality store. Nobody is afraid of a reality store. Nobody is afraid of a man that would take the P-U-S-S-Y from a woman. Nobody is afraid of a man to say, I grab him by the P-U-S-S-Y. Nobody is afraid of Donald Trump, but his minions in his cabinet. More about Donald Trump and his felonies.
I know something very important. I hope you people hear this, okay? There's all this talk about how Trump is going to pardon Derek Chauvin, okay? Who killed George Floyd. He can't. He can't. I want to make sure you understand that. There is a state court conviction of Derek Chauvin he can't touch, and it's going to keep Derek Chauvin in jail for a quarter of a century. There's also a federal conviction, but that doesn't really matter because he's already in there. So, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to get people in the cities to engage in unrest so they can bring in the military. So everybody get it straight. When I convict somebody, Donald Trump cannot pardon that person. When they convicted Derek Chauvin in state court, Donald Trump cannot pardon that person. And let me tell you how you know this. Donald Trump got convicted of 34 felonies in New York State court. Is he pardoned? Nope. He's not, because he cannot pardon a state court conviction. Don't go for the bait.
Black people, don't fall for the bait about Derek Chauvin getting pardoned. It can't happen. He has state charges. They're only trying to bait black people so they can put the military on us. They will shut down the police and put the military on black people because they hate us so much. They hate that we stay looking young when we're much older. I'm 51 and I'm bad as a mother. You young girls ain't got nothing on me.
Some breaking news right now. Amazon has begun canceling orders from China and other Asian countries, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of purchase orders. This is in response to Donald Trump's tariffs, which means prices will go up because the shortages of these products will increase in the United States. According to Bloomberg, the orders for beach chairs, scooters, air conditioners, and other merchandise from multiple Amazon vendors were halted after Donald Trump's April 2nd tariffs announcement. Many vendors believe this is in response to the tariffs. One vendor had been selling beach chairs made in China to Amazon for more than a decade received an email saying, you know what, not to ship them anymore. $500,000 worth of beach chairs were nixed after the chairs had already been manufactured, leaving the person on the hook to pay the factory and find other buyers. If Amazon is canceling orders, I'm sure more companies will soon too, which means that there will be shortages in America for a number of items, which means costs will go up on these items. Full breakdown of what this all means on my Substack, link to my bio, so be sure to subscribe for free and follow along for all the news you need to know about. We have some breaking news right now.
It's getting serious, y'all. You know it's bad if Amazon is canceling its orders, because this is the thing. Amazon put millions of dollars into Donald Trump's campaign. And this is how you repay your people. Donald Trump, and the tariffs is hurting Elon too. This is how you repay your people, Donnie. Elon pays taxes in China more than what he pays here because he don't want to pay taxes here. Donald Trump, this is how you repay Bezos after he don't invested so much money, millions of dollars into your campaign. At your inauguration, he sat up there where the important people sit, as if he was more important than Trump's own administration. Bezos, your stock has dropped. I think I got something to show y'all about that. So Bezos is canceling orders from China, y'all. Y'all won't get them new beach chairs, honey, because I've been looking at some stuff too on Amazon. But I had to stick to the time that we was not supposed to spend our black dollars with Amazon. I didn't do it. Amazon, Jeff Bezos, you in trouble, boy. Donald Trump betrayed you. So I'm going to show you this, then I'm going to read to you. This is from CNN. Donald Trump says he's pausing new tariffs for 90 days except for ones on China, which are being raised to 125%. Oh, Dunny boy. Donald Trump, let me show you what he says with his Twitter fingers. With those Twitter fingers, he typed, based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's market, I am hereby raising the tariff charge to China by the U.S. of America to 125%, effectively immediately. At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. This is the thing. He's hurting the American people with that because you can get cheaper goods from China. Here, you're going to pay triple. Let me tell you, to have my lipstick made here, it's not cheap. So to have my organic lipstick made in China, honey, I get a damn good deal. But to have it made here, I would make no profit. So the American made is not going to be what we're going to choose. It just will not be. It will never be.
So let me get this straight. The economy is melting down. Elon Musk is in there cutting every freaking dollar he can, gutting whole departments. I mean, we're talking the Department of Education. They want to go after Social Security and welfare and all of this. And now you want to spend $100 million on a birthday party for our dear leader?
Wasteful spending.
And spend $100 million after laying off all those people and gutting all of those departments and calling it responsible fiscally. I mean, if you were trying to save money, you wouldn't be flying to Mar-a-Lago every weekend. Do you know how much it costs? It's like $10 million each way every time you go. Like just like $5 or $10 million, something like that. I'll Google the numbers, but I'm just saying, you know, I mean, our fallen soldiers are coming home in flag draped coffins. Not only are you cutting benefits for veterans, but you rather play golf with the Saudis? Like, folks, you know, this weekend I saw a clip of someone said, you know, hey, Jesus wanted to come back and he could come back to America. What would you say? Well, if he came legally. I mean,
yep, I showed y'all that video.
Cutting education and doing all that. They don't want you to be able
that
to
video
read
clip of that
or do the math of the numbers that they're putting in these bills. It's the dumbing down of America. You're not seeing this. Wow. So let me get this straight. The economy is melting.
Wow. So Donny Boy wants the country to spend millions of dollars for him to have a birthday party. But they cutting Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, food stamps for him to have a birthday party. This country is a joke. And it didn't become a joke until who got in the Oval Office? Donald Trump. Yeah. The one that has 34 felonies. The grifter.
Major breaking news right now. Donald Trump has announced a 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs after seeing the stock markets crash. In addition, he has announced that he is raising tariffs on China to 125%. So every reciprocal tariff around the world is paused except China. That's going up to 125%, which means things like the Apple iPhone will still see their prices rise significantly. Now, I'm going to do a full breakdown of everything you need to know on my Substack, so go check it out. Link in bio at the top of the link tree. This is what Donald Trump just put out on his Truth Social, saying that based on the lack of respect that China has to the world markets, he's changing his tariffs to China to 125%. But conversely, on the other 75 countries, he's issuing a 90-day pause and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff period during this period of 10%. So essentially, all reciprocal tariffs are paused, except there's going to be a baseline 10% reciprocal tariff, which is much lower than a number of the tariffs that he was initially going to charge. It's a bit confusing, but I'll do a full breakdown. Anyways, Trump caved. That's the moral of the story here. Follow along for all the news you need to know about. More to come. We have major breaking news right now.
He caved with Europe because Elon Musk got in his ear. about how much that's going to hurt his business, Tesla. As if we care about Tesla. We care nothing about Tesla, Elon. Let it burn, bitch.
Okay, it is often said that, oh my gosh, when we're dealing with Donald Trump, we need an interpreter. Let me just tell you what just happened with the market.
Hit the like
Donald
button,
Trump,
please.
someone told him, maybe it was Scott Bassett or whatever, some adults went in there and said, sir, we can't do this. What you're doing to the bond market is malpractice. We have to come up with, we've got to stop this. And he said, well, I'm not doing it unless it's a win. People have to see it as a win. So then he
It's
says,
not a
well,
win.
let's take the tariffs off of everyone else and just keep them low if we do have them. And then we'll raise them to China so it'll look like a win. And people will just say everybody's calling us. Of course people are calling them, meaning other countries besides China. Of course they are. Because who wants more tariffs? But they're not begging him for anything. They're not begging him to, like, please lay off Mr. Trump, let's negotiate. They're saying, what the hell are you doing? And he is saying, well, China needs to come to the table. They're the only people who haven't called. But China was the big get anyway. That was the king, right? He wanted to somehow checkmate them. But you cannot checkmate someone when they have more moves on the board than you do. And China has more moves. China really doesn't need us. Do you think people in China are opening up packages or going to the store and they're buying products that say made in America?
Nope.
Maybe some, but not a lot. Hardly. But how many of you check out the products? Even the phone that you're watching this on, maybe, or the computer.
Made in China.
Where is that made? You are opening up products every day that say made in China. We buy a lot of stuff from China.
Everything made in China, practically.
And they know it, and they don't care.
Even food,
China
eggs,
has
everything.
more leverage
China.
over us than we do, or over Donald Trump and the administration than we do. They don't care. So this is going to continue. This was a ploy. Now the markets are going up, more uncertainty in the markets, and then, but trust, he's going to do something else very soon, go up or go down, and then if I were you, I would just put on a seatbelt and try to relax, if you can, if you have any money left. Okay, it is often said that, oh my gosh, when we're dealing with
It is true, y'all. It is not going to hurt China that they're not getting orders from America anymore, because everybody in the world orders from China. It is only going to hurt us, the American people, small businesses, me. That's who it's going to hurt. Even big corporations, it's going to hurt them as well. Look at Jeff Bezos. He has canceled orders that are coming from China. So you better check and see if you're going to get your stuff. Go on your Amazon account and check and see, because he canceled a lot of orders.
Hey, I gotta show you for a second how this MAGA propaganda stuff works, and I gotta show you also how embarrassing these MAGA influencers really are. So do you guys know Benny Johnson? You know, Benny, I was literally being paid by Russia to spread MAGA propaganda, Johnson. Or you know him as Benny, I used to write listicles for BuzzFeed like 8 Sexiest Bachelors of Congress, DC, let these beefcakes warm you up until I was fired for plagiarism, Johnson? Yeah, that Benny Johnson. So let's take a look at this video that Project Liberal put together of Benny Johnson reacting to the current economic crash being caused on a global scale by Donald Trump. And then you'll see how Benny Johnson reacted in 2024 when the stock market was down for a single day under President Biden. Before I show you this clip, if you want more breaking news updates, remember to listen to the Midas Touch podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Losing money costs you nothing. This is just the reality of life. Like, were you young and dumb? How much money did you lose? Everyone loses money. Everyone loses money. It costs you nothing. In fact, it builds quite a bit of character. In fact, you learn a lot of lessons, actually, by losing money.
It's bloody Black Monday. Holy moly. The Kamala crash is here.
Kamala needs to get in front of a camera today. People are losing their homes today. People are losing their fortunes today. People are losing their futures today. People are losing their 401ks today. This is shaping up to be one of the worst market days in American history.
Okay, I gotta show you for a second how this MAGA propaganda stuff works, and I gotta show you also how embarrassing these MAGA influencers really are. So do you guys know Benny Johnson? You know, Benny, I was literally being paid by Russia to spread a
What I noticed that has been happening, I even noticed it on TikTok, people are blaming Kamala Harris for this. And they like, where is Kamala Harris? Why isn't she doing anything? She is living her best life with her husband, Doug, as she's supposed to. Y'all didn't want her. Leave her alone. You wanted the orange man, and you got him. And he's doing a terrible job. Leave VP Kamala Harris out your mouth. You voted for your racism. Settle for it.
This is the most dangerous time since right before World War II. Our adversaries, the North Koreans, Chinese, Russians, Iran, and Iran's proxies are all talking to each other. They have one thing in common: they hate us, and they want to diminish our role in the world. It may seem old-fashioned to some, but I'm still a Reagan Republican who thinks that America's role in the world is absolutely indispensable. I think this is the most dangerous time.
What he's saying, because, you know, Trump is all in with Russia. Mitch is not down with that. He's not down with any of this that Donald Trump is doing. He has been speaking up, and he spoke against Donald Trump last week. He's not afraid of Donald Trump. And I think he's not afraid because when you get old like that, you can't be afraid of anything. Once you hit over 50, you're kind of not afraid of anything. So Mitch is speaking up. He's been speaking up a lot. Russia is not our friend. And before today, the only country that Donald Trump did not tariff was Russia. Why? Because of Daddy Putin, the puppet master. Yes, the puppet master, Putin. Daddy Putin told him not to. He did just what Daddy Putin said.
Top 15 billionaires, Warren Buffett is the only one to have actually made money.
Bezos, look at Bezos stock down.
Warren Buffett's the only one in the green, making about $11.5 billion
Buffett's
since the beginning
smart.
of the year. Hefty losses, though, for Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, and, of course, Elon Musk.
Because of Donald Trump tariffs.
Person in the world, one of Trump's main advisors, but he lost a lot of money over the past few days.
He lost more than any of them.
Tesla down more than 40% since the start of the year. We know that company's been going through it. The target of a lot of vandalism as people sort of take out their frustration on the administration with Elon Musk. But yeah, Warren Buffett, his advisor said he actually scaled back his exposure to U.S. technology companies well before the sell-off. So things like Apple and Nvidia, and instead started to buy up more Japanese-based companies like Mitsubishi. And those bets have really served him well. Of the top 15 billionaires, Warren Buffett is the only one to have actually made money during all of this market mayhem. You see there, Warren Buffett's the only one in the green, making about $11.5 billion since the beginning of...
Warren Buffett has always been smart. He said he never understood why people had to go out and buy all these expensive clothes and all that. He doesn't spend his money on designer stuff. He doesn't. He's smart. Elon is at the bottom of the food chain when it comes to them right now with the stock market and who's losing the most. Elon Musk has. Bezos, Amazon is canceling orders from China because the stock market is down. You saw how bad his stock was down. And it ain't good.
There is no organized protest, but in this deep red congressional district, those here have deep-seated concern about President Trump and Elon Musk.
So are we going to sit on the couch and let these billionaires control the country? Hell no.
I almost kind of want to cry. It's just I don't see any hope.
Okay, where are you from?
Columbus.
Contrary to some Republican claims that outside groups come to disrupt.
Who's from the congressional district? All of you are from the congressional district. Has anyone been paid to be here?
No.
No one. Okay.
And that's the lie Elon put out.
Losing money. Same here. We are the boss, not the president. We are their constituents. You don't have to follow all of us, but we have to have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
I know that some of you in this room are angry. I know that some of you in this room...
Let them know.
I want you to feel comfortable telling me what you want me to know.
And they most certainly do on Trump's slices to research.
I have a 20-year-old daughter, and I lost a sister to breast cancer.
On coming cuts to the Veterans Administration.
I want to hear your comments on providing our veterans with the services that they've earned and that they deserve. Thank you.
I've not seen any Republicans stand up for the hardworking federal workforce.
Flood stands his conservative ground.
I get it. There's a lot of people in this room that don't support what Doge is doing. But for the first time, we are making some progress identifying places that we can reduce the budget. And this is something we have to do as a country, as a nation. This doesn't go away unless we deal with the spending.
But you paying millions of dollars for Trump to have a birthday party?
And for some, so does the shouting.
Raise the cap, Mike!
Within the crowd,
Our taxes! Please be quiet and let him talk. I don't like him either.
throughout a cry for accountability.
He said, I don't like him
leading to
either.
One of the most heated moments of the night, sparked by 21-year-old University of Nebraska student Jackson Hatcher.
Why is Elon Musk a better person to audit our government for waste, fraud, and abuse than the inspectors general that Donald Trump fired?
I support Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency.
That didn't sound like someone wanting to answer my question. I don't think we can count on congressional Republicans to grow a spine and actually fight Elon Musk or stand up for us because they're too afraid to be primaried by him.
Why do you think people are so angry?
He knows.
We have competing 24-hour news programs that
But that almost makes it seem like they don't really have those opinions on their own. You know what I mean?
There is no organized protest, but in this deep red congressional district, those here have deep-seated concern about President Trump and Elon Musk.
So are we going to sit on the couch and let these billionaires control the country?
Well, baby, that's what's happening, honey. Donald Trump has moved those billionaires in, and they running the show. Not that they care about you and me, because they don't. They care about fattening their pockets. While the American taxpayers suffer, you're going to suffer more. And Donald Trump said it's okay if you suffer. Elon Musk said it's okay. And a vast majority of those Republican cabinets said the same thing. They don't care about you. You don't matter to them. Their bank accounts. That's what matters.
It was made during my term, my first term. And it was so sad because I said, can you imagine I'm not going to be president? And that's too bad. And what happened is they rigged the election and I became president. So that was a good thing. That was a good thing. That was quite an achievement for both of us. So I'll be president during the World Cup and during the Olympics. When we made this, it was made during my term.
Because the American greed and the superficial thought that they're greater than any other race, this is what we got. This is what we got. A rigged election came from Donald Trump's mouth. And we already knew that. I've been telling you since day one that he supposedly have won. Fraud. I can't play the music. Hold on. Read what's being said on the screen. This is about Melania Trump and her son. She was not a U.S. citizen when Byron was born. So the law applies to her and Byron as well, Donald Trump. Doesn't that? Look what the words they're saying. Look when he was born. His mother was not a U.S. citizen, so therefore the son of Donald Trump, was not a U.S. citizen. So, those immigration laws apply to them too. They must be deported. Donnie, do the right thing. You've been deporting people that should not have been deported. Deport the ones that were not actually U.S. citizens, born as a U.S. citizen. Do the right thing, Donnie, but you don't have it in you. You have no dignity. You're just a spoiled, rotten apple. No, an orange sitting in the Oval Office. And you know, an orange spoiled, it's stinking. It has mold, a green mold all over it. Oh, that's Donald Trump. I'm ready for this right here. Hold on.
President Trump to know that he's not going to have a third term. He may not finish this term. This David is going to bring articles of impeachment against you within the next 30 days. I'm coming for you, Mr. President.
Get him. Take him down.
Is coming for you. And I want
Get him.
President Trump to know
Impeach
that he's
Trump.
not going to have a third term. He may not finish this term. This David is going to bring articles of impeachment against you within the next 30 days. I'm coming for you, Mr. President.
Take him down. Get him. Take that criminal down. He always talking about criminals. They deporting criminals. Where you need to go too, Donnie. You have 34 felonies. And you can't pardon that baby. That Letitia James is a mother, and I love her. You have 34 felonies. Show me a Mexican in this country that even the ones you already deported, they have 34 felonies. You can't show anyone that because it don't exist, Donnie.
Rogan jumped ship. Candace Owens jumped ship a long time ago. Ben Shapiro jumped ship. Elon is jumping ship, although it's too late for him. Fuentes jumped ship. Do you know what this reminds me of? Remember in the Titanic? Who were the first people that were out of there? Rose's parents didn't struggle. They didn't care about anybody else. They saved themselves. Now that we're in a sinking ship of an economy, you know who are the people that are saying he's playing chess, not checkers? The people that have no means to get out of a sinking ship. So you better
hit
stop
the like
listening
button,
to
please.
those fools. Because all they're doing is dragging you down on a sinking ship. You know who that useless captain is in this scenario? The men with podcasts whose only platform is built on punching down. When things get really bad, they're gonna cower like the little boys that they are. You know who will be the ones worth a damn? The people with good hearts. The people that don't want other people to suffer. I wonder who the musicians playing the last song are in this scenario. And it's tragic. It's incredibly tragic. We're playing with people's lives as if it were a game. This is what the leader of the free world does. Joe Rogan jumped ship. Candace Owens jumped.
Sooner or later, they're all going to jump ship. Elon's whole life is ruined because he attached himself to Donald Trump. Anybody that attached themselves to Donald Trump, they all falling down, have nothing. Giuliano, he has nothing. He's broke. The pillow guy broke. Bannon is broke. And the list can go on and on. Tesla got to go, y'all. It's got to go. The cars are no good. That Cybertruck is a piece of junk. You drive down the street, pieces of it falling off. The panels falling off. SpaceX blowing up in the sky. Crashing. Boom, gone. Twitter is in shambles. X, whatever you want to call it. And I actually thought he paid off Twitter. No. He still owes money. He owes that bread to the owner of Twitter. He has loans. So he sold that company to his AI company. What is it, IX or AX or something like that? You're a loser, Elon. You and Donnie both are losers that just got further in life because of your skin color. That's the only reason. Privilege. White privilege. I stand on that.
News from Fox and NBC today that the Manhattan DA's office is making arrangements with law enforcement to have Trump surrender
Please,
and
get
face
him.
an indictment to the Manhattan
Take him
DA's
away.
office.
We're sick of him.
Fox News Alert now, and we are learning that the Manhattan DA's office has asked for a meeting with law enforcement ahead of a potential Trump indictment.
Take
This is
him
coming
away,
to Fox News
quick.
from a source in the courts. The meeting, which
I
was
don't want to
requested
see his
yesterday
face
and has
anymore.
not
I
been
don't want to
set
hear his
yet,
voice
is to
anymore.
discuss logistics for sometime next week, which would mean that they are anticipating an indictment next week.
Yes, folks, it's finally happening. My name is Karen Friedman Agnifilo. I'm a co-host on the Midas Media Network's Legal AF. Every Wednesday and Saturday, we break down legal news for you. Breaking news from Fox.
Subscribe to Midas Touch Network and Legal AF. I watch both of those channels faithfully, and you should too.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. What eventually occurs is, first, homegrown industries start relying on government protection in the form of high tariffs. They stop competing and stop making the innovative management and technological changes they need to succeed in world markets. And then, while all this is going on, something even worse occurs. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. The result is more and more tariffs, higher and higher trade barriers, and less competition. So soon, because of the prices made artificially high by tariffs that subsidize inefficiency and poor management, people stop buying. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. The memory of all this occurring back in the 30s made me determined when I came to Washington to spare the American people the protectionist legislation that destroys prosperity. Now, it hasn't always been easy. There are those in the Congress, just as there were back in the 30s, who want to go for the quick political advantage, who risk America's prosperity for the sake of a short-term appeal to some special interest group, who forget that more than 5 million American jobs are directly tied to the foreign export business, and additional millions are tied to imports. First, when someone says, let's impose tariffs on
He knows because he experienced himself when he tried to do the tariff thing. It doesn't work. I'm not favorable of Reagan because what he did to the Black Americans. Because of him, the crack cocaine epidemic was put in the Black neighborhoods. So I'm not a fan of his, but everything Reagan is saying is true. He told no lies. Donald Trump is destroying America on purpose, in my opinion. What do you expect from a group of people that's been selfish all their lives?
Here in Texas, here in the state capitol, a small band of Republicans and Democrats in the Texas House are coming together to stop two West Texas billionaires from taking over our state government. Their names are Tim Dunn and Ferris Wilks, and they're the biggest Republican donors in the state. They've already bought our governor, they bought our lieutenant governor, they bought our attorney general, they bought our state senate, and now to complete their takeover, they're trying to buy the Texas House. Tomorrow, they'll attempt to get one of their puppets elected speaker. One of our Republican colleagues said, quote, "This is the most corrupt state government in Texas history." Tim Dunn and Ferris Wilks are not just oil and gas oligarchs. They're also Christian nationalist pastors. They've spent more than $100 million to ban abortion in Texas, to ban books in Texas, and now they're trying to close our Texas public schools with a private school voucher scam. This is bigger than party. This is bigger than partisanship. Texas is too big and too great to be sold to the highest bidder. We cannot allow 2 billionaires to transform our beloved state into a theocracy. We have to stop them. There is something happening here in Texas, here in the state capitol.
They buy seats. The Oval Office was purchased. So Texas is no different. Because the Caucasian man, he has to have what he wants. He goes and take it. Just as they did to the black female slave women, and they buck the black slave men. Yeah, those Caucasian men, they was having sex with the black men. Then they'll go in the house to their wives as if they haven't done anything. It doesn't surprise me. They're used to taking things that's not theirs. A price they will pay.
Playing. This is real, and it has to stop before it gets completely out of control. The American government is sending people to foreign prisons without trial. We are snatching people off the street and charging them with terrorism and gang membership or illegal status without evidence or due process, and 5 members of our Supreme Court are allowing it. We have become the monsters we read about, and it is unacceptable. This cruelty and lawlessness cannot be carried out in our name. This is the United States of America. The actions being taken by the Trump administration are unfair, unjust, unconstitutional, and the polar opposite of the freedom America claims to stand for. It doesn't matter what your politics are. This cannot be allowed to happen here. Even if you are fully supportive of the president and the MAGA agenda, I need you to imagine if the Biden government had sent the people who say stormed the Capitol to a violent foreign prison without trial and refused to bring them back. That would be unacceptable to you. And to be clear, that would be unacceptable to me. We need to bring these people back because we do not have gulags in America. We are a country that liberates concentration camps, not a country that fills them. Bring these people back. We can deport them if they are truly illegal, but we must give them trials if they are not. And we can't lock anybody up if we can't prove with evidence that they deserve it. This is not 1940s Germany or modern day Russia, and this lawless nightmare has to end. This cannot be allowed to happen here. Not now, not ever. And
well, baby girl, as long as that orange man in there, hell has risen. The Antichrist don't care about anybody. And he's moving fast. But the devil is never stronger than God. And like Al Green said, he is David, and he's fighting Goliath. So Donald Trump, you are the Goliath in our lives. And we're not going to stop fighting till you out of that White House. That slave plantation, you got to go. You dirty hoe.
It is past midnight on the...
One moment. We're going to be getting out of here.
Major news just in the Mahmoud Khalil case. Mahmoud Khalil is the pro-Palestine activist and Columbia University graduate that the Trump administration is trying to deport. Well, a federal judge just told the Trump administration that they must provide evidence as to why Khalil should be deported by tomorrow afternoon, or else he will order Khalil's release. This is new reporting from The Guardian. Judge gives Trump administration deadline to justify Mahmoud Khalil's deportation. Judge Coleman
I think I showed y'all this already. I apologize. I think I showed y'all this yesterday. I apologize. Let's see what this is about. Hold on.
Stock market is crashing. It is. Do something. I can't take Trump out of power. What do you mean? I mean, this upcoming recession is entirely caused by Trump's tariffs. That can't be. He's a businessman. Yeah, a businessman who runs everything he touches into the ground. No, he's wildly successful. Have you ever heard of the Trump Plaza Hotel? No. What about Tour de Trump? No. Trump Ice? No. Trump Vodka? No. Trump Casino? Wait a second, casino? Yep. How do you lose money on a casino? Ask Trump. Okay, but every businessman has losses. Oh, I'm not done. You've surely heard of Trump Steaks? No! Trump Home? No! Trump Shuttle? No! Trump Model Management? No! Trump World's Fair? Wait, another casino? He's actually had to close 5 casinos. Why do we put this guy in charge of anything? Trump University? No! GoTrump.org? A travel website? No! Trump Magazines? No! The Trump Network. No? What about the Trump Foundation? Oh, I actually have heard of that one. It was shut down in 2018 by a court order after committing massive fraud. Okay, I get why Trump thinks that massive tariffs are a good idea. He's plainly ignorant, and he's been defrauding people for decades. The Book of James has something to say about people like this. Oh no! Come now, you rich people. Weep and wail for the miseries that are coming for you. Your riches have rotted, and your clothes are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver have rusted, and their rust will be evidence against you, and it will eat up your flesh like fire. That seems harsh. Every time one of Trump's businesses fails, ordinary workers are caught up in the crossfire, and they don't have the same resources that Trump has. He's a grifter who hurts people everywhere he goes. This is no different. Master, the stock market is crashing! It is. Do something! I can't take Trump out of power. What do you mean?
That was great. That guy is good. But you voted that into the White House, MAGAs. You did. And now I must laugh at you, because you have lost your jobs. You're losing your Medicaid, Medicare, your food stamps, maybe your Social Security, health care, etc. Because you lost that job. You don't have the health care anymore. You barely have your 401k. Thank y'all for coming to my live. Hit that like button before you leave out of here. I truly appreciate all of you. You're welcome, Keisha Mitchell, Queen, Kensha Mitchell. Thank you. Thank you, King or Queen. I don't know which one you are. Thank you so much. Pray for this country. Pray that God moves quickly, because we can't keep going on like this. I love y'all. Have an amazing evening. God bless. Bye.